Now, you may not know this, but your mentality and your mindset is everything when it comes to achieving success, and that includes in the gym. So in today's video, I wanted to share with you my mindset when it comes to certain things such as approaching new PRs, right? Lifting heavy weights. What am I thinking? What am I going through in my head? But not just that, warm-ups as well, because that's a whole different thing, and our warm-ups are really important. If we have the wrong mentality and mindset around that, we're not going to be successful with heavy weights. And on top of that, again, failure, all right, because we do often fail, okay, and bouncing back is extremely important. And again, if you have the wrong mindset around stuff like that, well, how are you going to succeed? And then there's injury, and this is a big one. A lot of people get injured, man, everything goes downhill. Okay, I've been there myself, okay, but I've also bounced back. And bouncing back is the most important thing because, yeah, sometimes we take a fucking blow and it's unrealistic to say, you know, I'm just gonna smile about it and be positive. That fucking sucks, man. Sometimes it's really shit and it's really hard to scrape yourself off the ground and to climb back out, right? But today I wanna share my insight and my experience with you when it comes to all these things. Now, keep in mind, I'm just a man, you know, I'm not perfect, but I have achieved some really cool things when it comes to powerlifting, right? My best ever total is 1,050 kilograms, 2,314 pounds. You know, I've squatted and deadlifted over 900 pounds, and I'm approaching a 600-pound bench press. That's my goal. So my mentality and my mindset has definitely helped me achieve great things, but also I've learned some valuable lessons, and I know where I've gone wrong in the past, which has definitely held me back, right? Life is about lessons, and I feel like I can save you a whole bunch of time, a whole bunch of headaches and bullshit by simply sharing my life experiences when it comes to the gym, at least, in hopes that it will help you avoid those things so you can just get stronger, right? That's my goal. And today I have heavy bench press. It's my heavy bench press session. So I'm going to be working up to some heavy triples today. Now I am nearly 5 months post bicep reattachment. I had surgery, and hey, coming back from injury, let me tell you, I was at the fucking bottom for a while. Very, very sad, depressed. You know what I mean, we've all been there, right? But look at me now, handsome. I've got a new haircut. That's right, it's very bold. I was thinking like a midlife crisis, but I've already got the face tattoos, so what else could I do? Not really though. I'm not having a crisis. I feel really good, all right? I'm come back from injury, I'm getting strong again. We're gonna start warming up now, and we're gonna go over all of these things during the session. That sounds like a fucking plan to me, gang. What a day. It's Saturday, and we're bench pressing. Oh, baby. 60 kilos to start with. I've already done the empty barbell. I've already done this once. I like to do it twice, and then we'll start stacking some plates on there, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Feels good, gang. We'll put another plate on and we'll chat. All right, gang, 2 plates. Now, let's first talk about our mentality or mindset when approaching warm-up sets, okay? Because the warm-up set the intention for the entire session. If you fuck around in your warm-ups, if you're not focused in your warm-ups, you're gonna have a shit day. Now, on the flip side, if you're too obsessive and you put too much energy into your warm-ups, and when I say that, I mean, if you're fucking staunching around fucking the gym like this, right, in between warm-up sets, blasting music and shit, you're wasting energy, like serious energy. We have a certain amount of arousal in our system before we start to get heavily fatigued by the output. Okay, so yes, we want a level of focus and concentration, but we want to keep a handle on the arousal. I know you may have a problem with that, young man, but you're going to have to work on it if you know what I mean. So, the point would be, we want precision. Okay, yes, you've heard the saying before, like treat your warm-ups like your top set. Yes and no, as I said, right? For your top set, you could fucking beat your fucking chest like a gorilla and be successful. So you don't want to do that every set, right? But you don't want to take the piss. So focus on execution, focus on the cues really heavily. This is where it's really important that we focus on the technical cues, the warm-ups. That's everything. Now, when we're doing our top sets, it's hard to be strong while we're thinking a lot. Okay, so as I said at the beginning, warm-up sets the tone of the entire session. So we focus on the cues. Okay, so for me right now, the big technical cues I'm working on is obviously shoulder, blade, retraction and depression. Working on stability, especially through the left side post-surgery. I was struggling with that, so I'm hammering that. So really getting that thoracic extension, flaring the rib cage, keeping a nice big chest. Okay, that's my biggest thing right now. But the other cues you might be working on is your leg drive, you know, how you are breathing and bracing. You may be working on holding your breath, as I've spoken about in earlier videos. And an effective time to practice, you know, holding your breath while you're bench pressing is with lighter weights during warm-up sets, right? It makes sense. So it's not so much about fucking hammer it, fucking blah. Like, yes, it's fun sometimes, guilty, you know what I'm saying? But the smart thing to do is to be calm, enjoy yourself, have fun, have a laugh, right? Be a nice guy, but just switch on for that moment before you do your set. Do your set with a high standard, and then again, return to calm as quickly as possible. Save all that energy for the top set, which we will talk about, the mentality of hitting PRs and top sets very soon. But I'm going to hit this now. 4 or 5 repetitions, and then we'll go heavier. Let's go, baby. Okay. All right, so now I'm fucking switching on. Just a few seconds before I set up. I'm not rushing, I'm focused, trying to be precise. Easy peasy, you know what I'm saying? Who'll add more weight, we'll keep chatting. All right, gang, 3 plates on the bar now. I want to talk about the mentality around failure, because failure happens. Doesn't matter how fucking good you are, you will fail at some point. Now, sometimes what separates the good ones from the shit ones is their ability to bounce back from said failure, right? Because it is inevitable, and if you cannot bounce back from it, you will never be good. Now, failure happens more often than I would like to admit. Okay, now I may not broadcast every single one of my failures for the world to see, but trust me, they do happen. They happen to the best of us. Now we need to use the failure as a learning opportunity, okay? Yes, it's okay to get pissed off about it, to have a fucking reaction, to have a feeling, because we're passionate about what we do. We put a lot into it, and when it doesn't go the way we fucking want it to, it's okay to get the shits, okay? But then, after you had the shits, all right, after you fucking said what you wanted to say, pull yourself back, have a look at why you failed. Most of the time, there is going to be a reason you failed, and there's something you could have done differently that would have led to a different outcome. Now, whether that is a technical breakdown, whether that is poor number selection in the weeks leading up to your attempt, or maybe it's just an inflated ego. Okay, maybe you think you're better or you're stronger than you really are. Maybe you haven't really earned it. But at the end of the day, underneath every single failure is a lesson. Most of the time, sometimes, shit, man, something shit just happens. And that's part of the game as well. And if it does, hey, what can you do about it? Yeah, you'd be pissed off for a little bit, but eventually, you just got to pick yourself up and get back to work and overcome that failure, right? No matter what it is. So if it's technical, if it's a technical failure, something's breaking down, go back to your training, identify why it's happening, identify how you can fix it, and fucking fix it. So it doesn't happen again. If you had a shit program, or you're going too heavy too often, fix it. So next time, it doesn't happen. Because it doesn't have to. I mean, it doesn't have to happen as much as you think it does. All right, as I said before, I've made a lot of mistakes. A lot of my failures came from, you guessed it, my own mistakes. Oh, baby. You know what I mean? You dig your own grave sometimes, and then you got to lie in it. But you don't have to stay there, because you're not dead. You're just being dramatic. Okay? It happens. 3 plates. I'll go 2 repetitions, and after this set, I'll start getting a handout from my beautiful assistant. She gives very good handies to me, very reliable. And we'll work up something heavier, but yeah, I'm gonna smoke this now. 2 reps, let's go. Easy. So, coming back to mentality of warm-ups as well, as we get closer to the top set, all right, we can lift our arousal a little. So I'm a little bit more excited for 3 plates than I was for 1. Just a little bit. I'm not blowing my load yet, okay? Later. Let's go. Yeah, buddy. Easy peasy. We'll go 170 kilos next. But do me a favor, like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to your mum's favorite channel on YouTube, and hopefully yours too. Cult Strength, baby. Let's go. All right, gang, 170 kilograms. This is likely my final warm-up before my working sets, my heavy triples. Now let's talk about the mindset around injuries, more specifically coming back from injuries. Now, injuries, very similar to failure, okay? It happens. We can do everything that we want to minimize the risk. We can have perfect technique, great programming. Unfortunately, sometimes shit just happens, right? Now, that doesn't mean we throw the towel in, obviously. Now, you may want to feel like that, and again, that's okay, I've been there. Fuck, I've been there, right? The bicep injury was a big one for me. That sucked. That hurt. I've had other injuries that are big as well, and that hurt as well, but it always sucks, okay? Yeah, like people like to tell you, keep your head up, be positive, it's gonna be okay. Yeah, it will be. But in the moment, bro, no, it won't be. It's the end of the fucking world, right? I understand, but it isn't, which I'm sure you understand. We're just tied to that moment. We're tied to that passion, and it feels like it's been taken from us. Like we can't do what we want to do. We've, hurt ourselves fucking squatting or deadlifting or bench pressing, and now we can't do that one fucking thing that we love. And for a lot of you guys, this is everything, right? This is your outlet. If you don't have this, you feel like you're just gonna go fucking insane and burst. And I understand that. Hey, I've been there before. And that's why it's really important as well that we do have other hobbies that may be less physical, that are still some form of, I'm not gonna use the word therapy, but some form of release, right? Some form of calm for you. Okay, now that could be fucking riding a motorcycle, or hiking, or reading a fucking book. I don't fucking know, all right? But it's important to not just rely on one thing, because trust me, shit does happen, and it's important that we still have something to focus on, okay? Now, yes, part of being injured is focusing on the recovery, of course. And that's a big part of it. That's how you come back, okay? Because yes, we're gonna feel the negatives, we're gonna feel the emotions, Once you felt it, okay, enough's enough, push it to the side. Now you're gonna come up with a fucking plan, right? We're in attack mode again. Okay, we're fucking wounded, but now we're in attack mode again. And that's the mentality shift. You gotta get that fucking dog back. You gotta get that cunt in ya. You know what I'm saying? All right, you gotta want it and you gotta get hungry again. You gotta find a way to get back there, and how are you gonna do that? But getting back out there, getting after it again. So you've had a few days crying, sitting there, being sad. Get your ass back in the fucking gym. Do what you can do. If you hurt your upper body, train your lower body. Train the other side of your body. It's not gonna be as much fun. You're still probably gonna be sad about it, but at least you're doing something constructive and productive that is working towards your ultimate goal of being stronger. Because sitting at home ain't gonna do it. You're gonna soften in your body and you're gonna soften in your mind. And once that happens, baby, it's very hard to come back. All right, so if you get hurt, permission to feel sad. I get it. But also, son, stop feeling sad now and get pissed and get a little bit angry. Get that fire back, get that passion back, and get after it. But when you are back, here's the thing. This is the hard part for us people who are a little bit crazy, is you want to go hard straight away. You want to be back there right now, but you can't be. Trust me, you can't be. I don't know how many weeks, like 19 weeks post bicep operation. Okay, and I wanted to be back there. When I started bench pressing like 7 or 8 weeks ago, I was like, fuck it. And I put 60 kilos on the bar and it hurt. And I felt weak. And I just loaded 10 kilos a week, or whatever it was, until now, all right? I bench pressed 210 kilos again the other week. Okay, I'm not in my back at my best yet, but we're getting there, baby. We're sticking to a smart plan, exercising discipline, because discipline is a very important part of this equation in coming back from injury, in coming back from failure. Discipline is key. You need to know that you can push, but you also need to know when enough's enough. Because hey, if you just go and do the same damage again, you're your own worst fucking enemy. All that fire is for nothing, right? It becomes pointless. So we need to have some context. We need to have somewhere to aim it with precision. All right, and that's also part of maturity and growth. And I've been doing this a long time now, and I'm starting to learn, but it took me a long time, right? But if you are starting this, if you're a young guy and you hurt yourself, well, you're still young, fuck me, you're gonna be fine. But get back to the gym after you felt sad, start doing what you can. Don't expect to reach the stars next week, but just improve every single time you get back there, okay? Because you do that for long enough, you know where you're gonna be, at the top. Does that make sense? Injury is probably the biggest bitch of them all. And it's multi-layered. I can't just sit here and logically tell you, do this, and do this, because there's a whole lot of feelings and layers that come with an injury because it affects us very deeply, especially sometimes, right? So pick yourself up, get your shit together, get back to work, follow a smart plan, use discipline, okay? And it can be hard because when you're feeling motivated, after you haven't been for a long time, it's extra hard. But that's when it's important that you go, whoa, 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 baby, take it slow. You haven't even taken me to dinner yet, and you want me to pull my penis out. Hey, have some class, lad. Anyway, I'm gonna hit this, 170 kilos, final warm up for a single, get my beautiful assistant to unrack for me, and then we're gonna talk about, after that, about the mentality with the top sets and crushing fucking PRs, because that's when you're gonna turn it on, baby. You know what I mean? Turn it on. Let's go. Easy. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Yeah, buddy. She feels good today. Know what I'm saying? All right, gang, 190 kilograms. This will be my first working set of 3 reps. The most I've done with 3 reps post-surgery was 185 kilograms 2 weeks ago. So that's my plan today. Now, let's talk mentality around PRs, around heavy weights. What are we doing? What are we thinking, right? Now, this is important, and this is the sword that so many fall on, myself included, many fucking times, right? We get really, really hyped up sometimes, especially a lot of new lifters, a lot of younger guys. You get fucking hyped, right? You get G'd up. You get super emotional, which is and can be fantastic for lifting heavy weights. But there needs to be a level of control, a level of emotional self-control for that to be of any use to you, right? We need to be able to direct it and maintain our technique, our composure, our precision. Think about it, you're getting all fucking wild, losing your shit. It's very easy, I know you've done it before, it's very easy for all those technical cues you've been working on and that you need to be successful, go out the window, right? And hey, when you're new to the sport, sometimes you're gonna get away with it. Sometimes you're still gonna get the lift. But let me tell you, as you get stronger, and if you want to keep getting stronger, it gets harder to do that, right? And that's where we need more precision and more focus, all right? Now, as I said before, that emotional energy, that arousal is very fucking good, very valuable, but only if you know how to use it. Otherwise it is the sword that you fall on, my good sir, and it shall slay you and bring you to your fucking knees. And I mean that. So, my mentality around this set, this would, okay, there's context, right? 190 kilograms to 3 reps, a post-surgery PR, but this is not a PR, really. I've handled this weight plus a fucking lot more before. Before my injury, I was hitting 10 repetitions with this weight quite comfortably, okay? So I'm not, you could say, as nervous or as unsure as I might be the first time. When you're approaching weights you've never handled before, it's a different ball game altogether. All right, we do get filled with anxiety, and that anxiety can be used for good or for bad. It depends on you. But right now, I don't have that level of arousal. I'm not gonna just bring it upon just to fake it for you right now, right? I'm quite focused because the most important thing for me right now, coming back from injury, is being precise. And I know as a higher level lifter, the key for me becoming a better lifter in general is to be more precise, not to be more emotional, not to be more angry, to get more pissed off around a lift. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense, right? It's a tool, don't get me wrong, but you'll find the stronger you get, the less you're gonna need to use it. And when you do use it, if you can learn to use it well, use it sparingly, it's way more effective. Okay, now I like to use that kind of energy specifically around a deadlift because it's very simple technically. Not a lot of thinking, not a lot of cues. Bend down, pick it up. Okay, a little more complex than that, but you get it. It's very easy to get G'd up for it and to not lose control. So, to wrap it up, okay, when it comes to handling heavy weights, yes, good to get G'd up. You know, as we get closer to those heavy weights during the session, we slowly lift that level of arousal. And don't get me wrong, that 10 to 20 seconds before I'm doing the lift, I'm starting to peak that arousal a little bit, but I'm just not gonna blow my load today like I might do if it was a 600-pound bench press attempt that I've been chasing my whole fucking lifting life. It means more to me, right? It's more important to me, and it's way more challenging. Okay, so I don't need that for this. What I need for this is to be precise, because that will allow me to get to that 600-pound bench press, and then fucking, I'm gonna be blowing loads everywhere. Big loads of information and knowledge and other stuff. That's what I do. I'm gonna get ready for this now though. And my plan is 2 working sets. So the first one, 3 reps, 190. If it goes really well, I'm either gonna go a little heavier or increase the repetitions a little bit for the second set. That's my plan here, okay? Because my goal is to hit 220 kilograms in the next 2 weeks. You know, more progress towards my goal. And again, practicing discipline. That's part of it, all right? But I'm gonna get switched on now. Hope you're enjoying this so far. I certainly am, sharing all this with you. If you have any questions, drop a comment. I'll do my best to get back to you, of course. But it's game time, baby. And we'll chat after these fucking sets. Because I'm gonna get a little bit hyped. a little bit. Yeah, buddy. Oosh. Yeah. Goodness. Oh. Whoa. Wowee. All right, gang. So we did pretty good today. A set of 3 and a set of 4 at 190 kilograms. I would have loved a set of 5. I would have loved that. It was probably there as well, but it's not worth the risk, right? There's that discipline I'm talking about. And I talk about how important it is that we avoid failure on the bench press, on the squat, on the deadlift. Hitting failure, it happens, right? But when we do it, we're actually teaching ourselves bad things, bad habits. Our form breaks down. The 4th rep, I could tell that it was starting to get a little bit sloppy. So the smartest thing to do was rack it on 4, and then I leave here successful. I leave here injury-free and confident for the next session. Because, you know, next week, I'll probably feel a little bit stronger. I think today, I just wasn't feeling super strong. But my technique was nice, everything was nice and smooth, everything was in position, so it just happened. You know what I mean? You don't have to feel super strong to have a successful day in the gym. Again, that's where the mentality comes into it, really focusing on precision, focusing on the warm-ups, make sure everything's good, giving yourself every single chance you can to be successful, even on the days where you don't feel unstoppable. Like, I don't feel weak today, I feel pretty good, but I reckon I felt stronger last week. But I still managed to lift heavier weights this week. It's not magic. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm a wizard. Maybe it's Maybelline. It's definitely not Trenbolone. You shouldn't take Tren. It's terrible. Don't do it, kids. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. If you're interested, though, in taking your training a lot more seriously, your results more seriously, maybe you want to compete in powerlifting, strongman, maybe you just want to fucking look better. Maybe you want to be a new person. Hit me up, baby. I can coach you. Okay, it doesn't matter where in the world you are. I got you covered. Send me an email at thecultstrength@gmail.com and I will be in touch with you. But alternatively, I have one-off programs with no coaching available, or no coaching with that, on my website, cultstrength.square.site. So you can go and grab your programs, or you can email me for coaching. But either way, I'm going to be back maybe tomorrow, at least on Monday for deadlifts. Next session's deadlifts, which I'm looking forward to, but I hope you enjoyed this. I'm gonna hit my accessory work now. I'm gonna go and get laid. It's a good day. I'll see you next time.